Hello and welcome back everyone to the 5th and final installment of the Challenge All-Stars 4 player previews, breakdown, discussion, and prediction video series. We have gone through 20 players and now we are going over the last 5 players in alphabetical order to see how well these players will do and how far I think they can go on this Challenge All-Stars 4 season. This is the beginning of the end where we will kick off this final 5 talk with Syrus. Syrus recently became a new father, so I want to say congratulations to him. Syrus has been working out and looking better than he ever has. He's coming in with a ton of All-Stars experience, having played on All-Stars 1 and All-Stars 3. He just hasn't had a lot of success on All-Stars. But the way the men's side is looking, maybe Syrus can do better this time around. I will call out the elephant in the room. As we all can tell, there were 13 men announced on the season with only 12 women with the cast reveal, meaning this season has 25 competitors, which is very odd. When the rumor cast came out, like a year ago, it was mentioned that Syrus was an alternate in case a man were to quit or be disqualified. After the cast reveal and the odd number of competitors, it must mean Syrus does come in for someone who leaves the season prematurely. My guess is it must happen very early in the game if Syrus was announced with the rest of the cast. Syrus has played with a good amount of the cast before, so that could benefit him, but with his All-Stars experience not being the best on paper, as well as Syrus coming in as an alternate, I'm worried for him and how long he'll actually stay on the season. I have Syrus in the lower middle of the pack of my rankings on the men's side. Someone else who is back on All-Stars is Tina. The last time we saw her was being medically disqualified from All-Stars 3. Before that, she seemed to be in a really good spot, being in a big alliance called the Treehouse Alliance. Tina looked to be a main player who had promise of a deep season run if it wasn't for her breaking her arm in the Mud Pit Daily Challenge. Tina now has been on 2 seasons of All-Stars, and she's coming in with more of a social game than ever before. Players from both All-Stars 2 and All-Stars 3, as well as she has the full Mean Girls Alliance behind her with Veronica and Rachel on this season. I think Tina could do really well on this season, if she can stay healthy and if she doesn't hurt her own game. We saw in Season 2 that she gave up an elimination to Melinda on her own principles. I think she had a good support system in All-Stars 3 that she wouldn't have thought of doing something like that again. And so I don't think that that should be a worry going into this season, but it does show that a lot of what can hold Tina back is Tina herself. She is a strong competitor physically. She's very confident. She has a good elimination record. Right now I have Tina ranked in the middle of the pack, a little bit lower on the women's side, not necessarily in the bottom 5, but close. I like her chances of making a deep run, but I don't think Tina has a chance of winning. The women's side is just so stacked, but give me Tina in a physical elimination against majority of this cast. We'll get back to the video very soon. I first wanted to take some time to say thank you so much for watching this video. But if you would like to support me and the channel further, you can go over to patreon.com/angelcakevids. Over at Patreon, there is a ton of exclusive content, ranging from exit interviews, one-on-one interviews, weekly live streams, premiere challenge content, commentary videos, watch parties, access to challenge fantasy games, and much more. So if you like the content that I'm creating and would like more of it, then please consider checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you again for watching and supporting the channel, and now back to the video. Everyone, check your watches because it's Tony time. Tony is back on the challenge. Last time we saw him, he was almost making the Final Reckoning final with his partner Johnny Bananas. Tony was actually on a good roll the last few seasons he was on. Dirty 30, he was purged in episode 16, being so close to the final. He had his best season yet in Vendettas, winning 7 challenges and not seeing an elimination on his way to the final. Too bad he was purged on the first phase, but still. He then won Champs vs. Stars 2 paired up with CT, then did great on Final Reckoning. I truly feel Tony was hitting his stride on the show before he took a long hiatus that many people believed he was retired. Tony did take the time off to be more of a family man, but he always kept in shape. His Instagram is filled with working out, brand deals, and being a dad. In the beginning of his challenge career, Tony was messy beyond messy, constantly drunk, known as a serial cheater, but in his last few seasons, he played a more focused and disciplined game, was very straight-laced, and he was much more successful compared to his earlier seasons. Tony has some friends on the show, is looking like he's in really good shape, and the men's side being a bit lackluster is all a good combination for Tony to do well on this season. There isn't a reason why Tony shouldn't do well on All-Stars 4 and make the final. I have Tony ranked in the top 5 on the men's side. All be prepared for Queen V to enter All-Stars 4. That's right, Veronica is here to give All-Stars another go. Veronica on All-Stars 3 showed she still has the ability to play the game, winning multiple dailies. She was in a strong alliance, calling the shots on the season, in no real danger of going into an elimination. If it wasn't for stumbling down the stairs and breaking a toe, she could have possibly made the final. Now, knowing Veronica could stub her toe and be medically disqualified in the next instance is scary. After returning in Dirty 30, Veronica has not been as potent as she was in her earlier seasons. She's shown not to have as much political power and pull in the house. She's been tested much more recently with players sending her into elimination, which her elimination record is quite middling. I will say that although Veronica on the main season hasn't been all that great, I do think in All-Stars we see the original Queen V come to life. Smaller seasons with less complex formats, I feel helps Veronica thrive on these seasons. She's coming in with Tina and Rachel as her baseline numbers. She has played on OG seasons as well as recent seasons, which casts a wide net of social connections that could help her. The only worry is the eliminations. She will most likely be sent into at least one, unlike her All-Stars 3 season. For her to win, I feel the elimination has to be specific for her abilities, and not only that, but the competitor she faces has to be someone she's confident she can beat, which, looking at the women's side of the competition, that's going to be a tough ask. Still, Veronica is a 3-time champ, and if there is something Veronica knows how to do, it's strategy and win. I do worry about her durability after her All-Stars 3 season, and with the level of competition for the women's side. I have Veronica in the lower rankings for the women. Sad to say, I have her in my bottom 5. And speaking of the bottom 5, let's talk about Tyrie. Tyrie has always been looked at as someone who had potential, but never could do anything on the show. People constantly question if he is one of, if not the worst player ever in the show's history, with him being winless in his entire challenge career in eliminations. Tyrie has size and was a college athlete in football, but the dude has flopped in every opportunity he's ever been given on the show. The bar is low for Tyrie to cross. In my opinion, there's no way he'll win this season, even with the men's side not being the most competitive. But can he finally get an elimination win? Sure. We saw Melinda come on All-Stars being winless in eliminations, then get 2 in All-Stars 2. But if Tyrie goes into an elimination and can't win 1, I think it's a lost cause. I don't have much else to say about Tyrie. Happy he gets another chance of redemption to get his first elimination win. I hope he can get one. But I don't see him going far, making a final, or being a real contender. I have Tyrie at the bottom of my ranks for the men. But that is it for this video and this video series. What do you think about these 5 players? How well do you think they'll do compared to one another, as well as everybody else that we talked about already? Who do you think is going to go the farthest? Who do you think is going to be an early boot? What are you the most excited about for the Challenge All-Stars 4, which will be premiering on April 10th? Oh, so soon. And what do you think can happen on this season? Let me know anything and everything down in the comment section below. I am so excited for the Challenge All-Stars 4. We have had to wait over a month, and now it is finally around the corner. Only a couple of days before its premiere. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. And you know what else I'm excited about? Giving a special shout out thank you to everyone who supports me over at patreon.com/angelcakevids. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's watching this video up to this point. I'll be back really soon with more Challenge All-Stars 4 content, more challenge content, more content in general. But until then, peace.